Hey there. Welcome to the 3D Animation Hub. Our homeboy Christoph, the rigger man, just came out with a new rig, Link. Now, just like Zelda, Link is free to use because it is fan art. So if you guys are gonna use the rig, make sure to spice up our homie's day. Drop some love, drop some GPs his way. Now, I went ahead and animated Link for a few hours, as you guys saw in the intro, to get the gist of the character, and so I'm gonna walk you guys through the rig in this video. Now, before we jump in, I want to give a quick shout out to my beautiful Patreons. Thank you guys so much for your continuous support of the channel. It means the world to me. And as per usual, the animation you guys saw at the beginning, the source file will be on Patreon for you guys to download. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's explore. Alright, I got my cup of coffee. Got my cup of coffee. Let's do this. So we're gonna go ahead and bring this bad boy in. Gonna go to import. Find the place I downloaded it, which I think it's called. There it is, Link Project. We're gonna go to Link Project, we're gonna go to Mesh, and we're gonna select the very first one, version 1.0.0.2. And you'll end up with something like this. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the textures in. So I'm gonna go to Windows, General Editor, File Path Editor, and as you guys can see, 13 unresolved. We're gonna go ahead and repath this. So click repath, and you want to select browse and find where the character is located. So in my case, my textures are located in textures here. So that would be in Link Project Textures. Just select the folder, set, repath, and then I'm gonna close this. And once I press 6, we should have all of our textures. Now, if you notice, the hair is black, and if I move it around a little bit, it might get its color back for a second. So how you fix this is you go to your lighting up here, change that to two-sided lighting. I'm gonna do the same for my other camera. Lighting, two-sided lighting. And now you won't have any flickering or any problems with the hair. So this is the rig. It doesn't seem like much at first, but there's a decent bit to it. It is very similar to the Zelda rig that we reviewed a while ago. The main, well, aside from like the rig being pretty much the same, you also have in the gearbox above the character, you have all these options. So you can bring out the sword, and each of the equipment have this option called space backhand. And once you set this to 1, it goes to the proper hand. Another thing you can do, once it's there, you can click the gearbox on the arm, and here you have a grip option. So once you max out the grip with the object there, it should wrap around fairly well. You could always, you know, go in there and tweak it a little bit as you please, but it'll get the job done. So I'm gonna ungrip this, and some of the other options you have are, once again, a shield. And again, guys, the shield, just like everything else, will have a space back option, and it will just place itself where it's supposed to, which is amazing. We got an ice rod, pretty cool. We got a kunai knife, same control, backspace, goes into the hand. We have the awesome, the amazing bow, which it doesn't have the texture, so you just have to do the same thing for the bow to get its textures back. We have the quiver, nice. Arrows, have the shaker, cool. Torch, which I think, oh, there, it's on the floor. A book, awesome, looks dope. Harp, again, they all have controls too. An apple with I think a bite control, so you can go in here and take bites out of it, or a bite out of it. That's cool. And a potion. Does potion have any cool options? Unfortunately not, but it's okay. Then we scroll down and make our way to accessories. You can turn on the controls for the cloak. You can turn on hair controllers, and most importantly, I always turn these on. These are all the face controllers. And so if you want to animate the character, I hate animating it with this box right here. I always go in and animate it on the face itself. So I just turn all these on, including the brow. There you go. And I can animate the face on the character itself, and that's what I prefer. Moving on to the spine area, we have, I believe this is the IK control, and this doesn't, as you guys can see, like the chest kind of controls everything, and I don't personally know anyone who animates like this. If you do, go get help. But I'm just gonna go ahead and change this spine to FK, and I'm gonna go to the plus sign back here, which is the cog control, the center of gravity, and I'm going to change this to 0, and this brings out the FK controls. Now there we go. Now we can properly animate. But one thing you notice is that there's no hip control, just like Zelda. So what you have to do is go to this bottom spine control, and once you move it, it kind of moves everything, and you don't want that. You want this to become the hip control. So you go to isolate hip in the attribute editor, change that to 1, and now that should be fully isolated, and you can use this as a hip control. So next up, the eyes. The eye controller is pretty awesome, and it automatically comes with the auto lid on. So that means when you move the pupils, the eyelids try to follow a little bit, and that's just naturally how the eye works. So this saves you some time and makes the character already look a little bit more realistic without you having to do much. You also got some sugoi options on the eye. You can make them sugoi or very not sugoi. So moving on to the arms. We have just your generic IK control arm, which is cool. And when you go to the gearbox, you have the option to turn on or change to FK if you like, but we're gonna just leave it on IK for now. You can turn on stretch on the arms, so you can stretch them as you please, and you can create some bendy cool forms with that. And you can also turn on bend controls, or just give you the ability to bend the arm as you please to create very nice silhouettes. So if I want to create a curve here, I can just bend these, and I'm not touching anything, I'm just bending these controls that are already inside the arm, and I can create a very nice looking curve. It's not very nice looking from this view though. But yeah, just overall the character is super cool looking. Most of the controls are pretty much the same as Zelda. The main difference being that you have this option right here, which I don't think it works for the hair, but I'm sure in the next version that Christoph releases, because he does update these over time, you can change the hair. Maybe if I can unlock it. Unlock selected. Yeah, no, it doesn't do anything. That's why it's locked. Okay, so I'm gonna lock this back up. Oh, right. The one thing you can do that's different is you can change the right arm from default to glow. Yo, this is dope. Yeah, so you can have a glowing arm on Link. What more do you want? Like he's used this arm so much to block attacks that it just turned blue. So moving on to the legs. So the same thing as the arms, you have the option for in the gears. You have the option for FK, IK. I don't know what you would want to animate legs in FK unless you're a very special person. But you also have the option for bend. And just like the arms, you can use this to create very nice looking silhouettes. Or the, oh Jesus Christ, that's not a very nice looking silhouette. You can use these to create very nice looking silhouettes for the leg. And that's honestly about it. You got little controls for the trousers here, which if you want to fix any clipping, you can animate these. This shoulder pad has a control of its own, which is pretty cool. You can turn this off. You can turn it off. That's cool. You can even turn it off. But I wouldn't turn it off. It looks too cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, you even got a ponytail control. Come on, what else could you ask for? And okay, that's about it. That was a quick rig review, just because the rig itself is very similar to Zelda, and I've already reviewed that. I'll put a link in the top right. Not this link, like an actual link, like a anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you are gonna use this rig, if you could just drop some GPs Christoph's way, because you can't technically make money out of this since it is fan art. But yeah, I'll have all the links in the description. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash that like button, hit the sub button, stay notified of future videos. We upload weekly 3 animation videos. I said videos way too many times, and with all that out of the way, happy animating, and I will see you guys in the next, guess what, video.